And we are live. All right, everybody. How's it going, everyone? We are here. Yes. I had a cute opening planned, and then I couldn't be asked because I was busy having dinner. So, as usual on this stream, we make do with what we got. But that's okay. Thanks for joining me, guys. It's a relatively uneventful Saturday afternoon, evening. That's okay. It's good like that sometimes. Got everybody going in the chat. There's Mew, who pops in and out, seemingly. Showed up for, 2-3 streams ago and then left. Such is life. Anyway. Yes. So, we got Cabby, we got Devin, we got Mon, and we got Amplitude. So, I have not made any progress beating the scene that shall not be named. Oh, we got Cabby's brother, we got Yoshi. Everybody's here. And we had a weird amount of people waiting for the stream, too. It was like a good 8 or 9 people. I was like, alright. I guess everybody wants to watch me play Amplitude, but that's okay, because I really think some of you are going to walk out of here today with a new favorite song and maybe a migraine, but that's okay. You don't have to watch if you don't want to, and I'll explain more in a moment. But yeah, I didn't get any progress done on Neopets, if you remember last stream, where our efforts at progress as Tormund were unceremoniously halted because he could not stop flailing in midair. It's just one of those classic PS2 glitches. And I still haven't beaten that scene off stream. So instead we're going to be playing a different PS2 game. Yes. And if you know me, which if you watch these kinds of streams, you probably do know me. You know that I am a big fan of Guitar Hero, Rock Band, rhythm games like that. And for whatever reason, I had not bothered to check out some of the other rhythm games, and some of it's my lack of hardware. I don't actually own, like, as far as consoles go, I don't even own a PS2. I need to get another one. I had a big fuck up, and I decided to toss 2 of them for bad lasers. And everybody who still plays PS2s just had their balls shrivel up hearing that. I'm sorry. I was a younger, dumber kid. But I don't own a PS2 right now. I never owned a 360. We had a 360 for a bit. We had a PS3 for a bit, but we don't own those currently. All I have is a Wii. So a lot of the more modern rhythm games that came out for like the 7th gen consoles, I never got to play. And then of course, the earlier Harmonix games, Amplitude being one of them, I also didn't get to play. So I've kind of been doing a little bit of catch up because I had the game downloaded, and I knew that it was literally just use the controller. So I was like, okay, I'll just try it out, see what happens. And it's all I've played for like a week and a half. Yeah. So, alrighty. Let's just get into the game. I do have to restart my emulator real quick because Amplitude, for whatever reason, requires a fast boot. Or a full boot, not fast boot. In fact, the emulator quite literally crashes if you start it up in fast boot. I don't know why it does that, but it does that. So, I'm just going to transition here real quick. And... oh, this is the wrong PCSX2. Rip. I had to grab the dev build, and I'll explain that in a bit too. Fastboot is pretty good for most games. It skips past the BIOS screen and gets right into the game, but for whatever reason, Amplitude doesn't like it. And that's probably because, and I did look it up, the BIOS is where things like the date and time get initialized. So if it skips it, it makes it faster, but at the same time, it also means you skip some of the stuff that the game is likely looking for, and it just crashes the emulator. So you got to turn fast boot off in order to play Amplitude. Such is life. Oh, we missed that glorious boot up sound, but that's okay. Get PCSX2. Sorry about this. There we go. Much better. And I'm going to need to do some on-the-fly audio mixing here, because I want you to be able to clearly hear the game, because it's obviously a music-based game, which means I will probably be running afoul of YouTube's copyright bullshit, but that's okay. But at the same time, I also want you to be able to hear me. So if anything seems kind of off, you want the sound up, you want me up, whatever it is, just let me know. And this intro says everything you need to know about this. Everything you need to know about this game. Let me turn it down a little bit for me. Amplitude. Yeah. So there's a little bit of history on Amplitude and harmonics in general before we get into the game proper. Let me rearrange my windows so I can actually see chat. I know you guys have been talking to me. I apologize. I don't think there's any like region exclusive songs or anything in this. Not like the first Rock Band or anything. But yeah. So harmonics started in the mid-90s, and their whole goal was to basically give people who don't know a thing about music the ability to feel like they're making music. And after, I don't know if they had anything other than the axe, but like after a couple years of not really being particularly successful, they moved into video games. And they partnered with Sony, who published their first game, Frequency. Frequency did not do well at all, but it got them a ton of positive press and a ton of positive reviews in the industry, established harmonics, and Sony was like, all right, make another one. And then we got Amplitude. And if you've ever played any of like the mobile Rock Band games, Rock Band Blitz, Unplugged, the DS ones, yeah, so the axe was like, I've never actually seen a video or anything of the axe. I just know it's like a thing that makes you pretend like you're playing guitar, and people loved it, and then after 15 minutes they got bored because it was basically a toy. It was basically like a noisemaker. You know what we should do, actually? Memory card. You know what, let's do something real quick before we go ahead and get into the game. I would like to start completely fresh, because this is a music game, obviously, so I want to be able to play as many of the songs as possible with you guys, which the soundtrack is nuts. It seriously, any genre you could think of is represented here, and you probably already, if you've seen like what I've said in some of you probably already know some of the bands. But I'd like to start this from scratch, because this is my current save. This is the one where I have all of my stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to reboot the emulator real quick. Let's go no disk, reboot, and now we can get to hear that glorious startup sound. Yes. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to, and you can see that I have a ton of just random nonsense on this fucking memory card, fake memory card. Either stuff that I was trying and totally forgot, like I have the Tony Hawk 3 stuff. We've got, of course, Neopets. We've got Amplitude, Guitar Hero, Time Splitters. I actually had Time Splitters on here, which is definitely one we gotta stream at some point. But I'm gonna copy this to the second memory card and then get rid of it. And worst case scenario, I have to replay the game, so I don't really care that much. Time Splitters is fantastic. Time Splitters, it's another one of these games that people love and that nobody has ever played. But as far as I know, it basically feels like a smoother GoldenEye, and I think it's the GoldenEye engine, so it makes sense. Let's get back into it. How you guys doing today on this fine Saturday afternoon? It's like if Perfect Dark didn't have frame rate issues, yeah. It's all you can do. People are drawing, yeah. I saw Devin was drawing earlier. Cabby's drawing now, which is good, because this is a music game, so you really want, you want background noise for that. So, totally starting from scratch. You can see I don't have my freak on the screen anymore, who was a fucking... I'm pretty sure this game would have terrified me as a kid. I've said that before, but if I show you some of the prefabs, these guys are something else. Some of them look fairly normal. Like this guy, he looks pretty normal. But then you got like this motherfucker, you got him, and then you got this guy. And all of the... You can actually customize your freak. This is like the avatar that you use in the game. So you can actually change their head, torso, arms, and legs. And if you check the head, not only do you get a nice close-up of that lovely face, but you also learn that this guy's name is Toxic Doom. And he terrifies me, which is absolutely why I decided to use him. But we're not going to be using him for this stream. We're going to be picking somebody else. We're going to go with... She looks like she's from Avatar. Yeah. It's like frequency, you know? Alright. So... We're just going to go at random. So, picking something random to start with. Alright. So, I'm holding right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going with her, I guess. Alright, let's do it. And I don't have a name other than my own name, but this is a lady, so we'll just go with, I don't know, we'll just go with Cammy again. I don't know, that's a name that can fit girls too. Whoops. My bad. No, I said delete. What the fuck? L2. There we go. Bingus Bingus. Bingus Bungus? Nah, fuck it. I'm too lazy for that. All leading and trailing space characters have been stripped from your freak or remix name. What the fuck? She became Black Lady. No. This one. Thank you. Alright, let's just... There we go. Okay, so we're actually into the game now. Yes. So, I'm just going to play through the game on normal. Of course, normally I'm an expert-only guitar player, but this isn't Guitar Hero. This game is fucking insane on insane. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. And Brutal is a little bit more manageable, but not by much. So we're just going to be playing through the game on normal. This is enough of a challenge, I promise you. You don't get all the songs on there, though. Maybe later we'll load up like my normal save, and we can play through some of the songs on Brutal. But we'll go with normal for right now, just to get through. The fuck do you mean I gotta go through the training again? That's unfortunate. I'm not gonna make you guys sit through the tutorial. Actually, you know what? Might as well. Because this is not gonna make any sense if you watch it, and kind of requires some explanation. It's not that complicated of a game, but it's a lot to take in.
Hey DJ, sit tight and listen up. I want to show you around a bit. I'm going to teach you how to build a song track by track without missing a beat. Sound easy? Guess again. Buckle up, we're going for a ride. This is your beat blaster, the modern musician's instrument of choice. Those small objects streaming towards you are note capsules. Each one has a musical note trapped inside. Now, check out the 3 targets hovering in front of your blaster. If you shoot a note capsule as it passes through one of those targets, you'll release the sonic energy inside and hear the note play. Press the L1 button to zap the notes on the left side of the track. Let's see if you can hit 4 notes in a row.
Very difficult.
Okay, good. The R1 button is used to blast notes in the middle of the track. Think you can nail 4 in a row? Nice. The last button I'll teach you is the R2 button. It zaps the notes on the right side of the track. You know the drill. Try to zap 4 notes in a row now. Cool. Also, instead of L1, R1, and R2, you can use the square, triangle, and circle buttons to blast open the notes. But be warned, the notes will come fast and furious. Just one thumb won't get you very far.
That's very
Now
true,
for
by the way.
real deal. Building a song track by track. To turn on a track, you'll need to play a group of notes called a phrase without messing up. Check out the green line with the frame around it on the track in front of you. This is your phrase finder. If you can nail every note connected by the green line, you'll turn on the track. If you miss a note, your phrase finder will slide to the next available phrase. Try to play this beat on the drum track. When you've hit every note in the 2-bar phrase, we'll move on. Go for it.
Whoops. It doesn't stutter this much in the actual game. It's I don't know why it's doing it in the tutorial.
Now that you've turned on the drum track, it's time to try some others. Each track represents a different musical instrument. Use the directional buttons to move between tracks. Try to turn on the bass and synth tracks now. Good luck. Cool. Now move over to the other track. Okay.
Believe me, it is very much Guitar Hero on crack.
After a little while, they'll turn off again. To master this game, you'll have to hop quickly from track to track, keeping the music flowing. Now I'm going to turn on some meters to help you get through the game. This is your energy meter. When you're not turning on tracks, your energy will drain away. If your energy reaches 0, it's game over. Don't sweat it though. Every time you turn on a track, your blaster absorbs the sonic energy that was released, and your energy meter gets a boost. So, the key to beating a song is to turn on tracks fast enough to keep your energy up. If you can stay alive till the end of the song, you win. This is your progress meter. It shows your location in the song. Look for checkpoints along the way.
I don't think that was just coke you snorted, Borb.
This is your score display. You'll get points for turning on tracks. For more about scoring, check out the Advanced Concepts training.
I hope I don't have to sit through the advanced tutorial.
Now it's time to get out there and polish your skills and become a true freak. That's all for now. Have fun.
I don't think I do, though. So that's good. Okay, so if that tutorial didn't help you at all, that's okay. It didn't help me either. So basically what you're doing is that you have a set of 6 to 8 tracks per song. You know, you got your vocals, your guitar, your bass, probably 2 drums and 2 guitars for most songs, or 2 synths perhaps. And you have to play each one for a little bit, as you saw that phrase, so a bar or 2 each. And that'll turn the track on. And then you gotta switch to another one and turn it on. And then you try to juggle, basically. Believe me, it's kind of crazy. So so you've got 5 different arenas. Oh, new house joined. So you've got 5 different arenas that you play in for each of the songs, and you can see some of the artists that you got lined up. You got Neotropolis, which is, you know, like your lowest, it's like opening licks basically. Then you got Beat Factory, Metaclouds, Electrocore, which kind of looks like a power plant, and then Blastlands, which is bullshit. But that's okay, we'll get there. So, let's get right into it. Now let's play, you can play these in any order, but the game will actually start to, ooh. But you gotta, you play, sorry, I just don't want people under me while I'm trying to talk, and I want to be competing with the game. But basically, You can pick anyone you want to start with, but then the game will automatically play the other 2 songs, and then you get a bonus track, or a boss track, and then if you've gotten a high enough score, you get the bonus track. So there's 5 in each difficulty. Believe me, it gets kind of ridiculous, but we'll start with Garbage, because I like Garbage a whole lot, and this is a great song. So this should give you a good idea of how this game goes on one of the easier songs. And again, if it's too quiet... Oh god, I don't know why it's stuttering so bad. It doesn't normally do that. I really hope that's not going to fuck the game up. But I think it will. Let me see if I can... Nah. No, it's not just PS2 emulation. I've been playing the game like this for fucking weeks. It's not just PS2 emulation. Maybe I can... Let me check. Can I do anything with OBS? I can't... Okay, I will go ultra fast for the stream encoding. It's probably OBS. See if that helped it a little bit. Tiny bit? Not really. That's gonna be real annoying. Okay, hold on. Okay, I think it's good enough. All right, we can try it like this. All right. Let's see what we got here. Maybe I can plug in settings. Drop the native resolution, and we will emulation settings. We'll try some speed hacks. Alright, setting it to aggressive, I'm scared, but we'll try it. I think this is not going to work, but that's okay. Whew. This is going to be a hell of a challenge if I actually decide to go through with it. Fuck. It's a rhythm game and I'm expecting to play it at 98% speed. You don't know how much I wish I had a capture card right now. Fuck. And that was a power-up I just used, called the Auto Blaster, which generally, because some of the transitions between tracks in this game, as you can imagine, get kind of impossible, the Auto Blaster is basically your get-out-of-jail-free card. Did that actually help? Oh my god. Was it really that simple? Kind of. I minimized Vivaldi and that helped. That'll definitely cause some slowdown. That's okay though. That's all web browsers. Audio Surf. I love Audio Surf. I used to play that shit all the time with Black Mesa soundtrack. And yeah, all of the stuff in the background is completely custom for every single song in the game. So you can see like the lyrics and stuff happening on the sides. You've never heard of Audio Surf? That's like one of the biggest fucking rhythm games on PC. Shit. Whoops. But you can hear that parts of the mix drop out as you kind of stop, you kind of, you know, lose it a little bit. But yeah, everything is totally custom. in the tracks. So, and you'll actually see it too for the different arenas. Like I mentioned that Electrocore kind of looks like a power plant, and you'll actually surf over like giant oceans of green, like radioactive goo. It's pretty great. So this is like the big theme for this game. Boom. Anybody remember Pod? I kind of don't. But they sound super familiar. And this is the one you heard in the intro. Yeah, that's playable. That's about playable. Thanks, Vivaldi, making my game fucking stutter. This is about how it is, basically, when I play it. Maybe a little bit less smooth, but I can manage it. I never knew that a kid like me could take his mic around the world and back the big ass thing and rock the masses. From Madrid to Calabasas, Tijuana, Mexico, like devils in Tokyo. Say they know me though, cause I'll be putting in work. Commit my life to reverse, but respect it, cause that's my word. And I'm sure you heard about a new sound go round. She might have left my hood, but she was born in my town. You didn't know how we was doing on the scene. It's alright, it's alright. And of course you get these little energy bonus bits on everything except Insane. Which basically give you a little bit of a breather. And trust me, you'll want it on the later songs. This is, again, the easiest of the songs. But I guess this is like the most you vibe to kind of songs. Listen, it's already got Slipknot. I don't want to think about it having ICP. Believe me, Devin, this game, you will be like, oh my god, this was made in 2003 a lot. Especially when we get to the fucking Pink song. Whoops. This is an example of one of those transitions that I really don't like, when the game has you hopping from the drum track on the end to the drum track on the other end. You can't really get there in time, and it makes you lose your multiplier. Basically, every time you complete a track without fucking up, it adds to a multiplier. So I got a ×3, now I got a ×4. And that number that you see on the side is actually the point value that you'll get, the base point value for that phrase. So this will give me 6 points times 6, so this will give me 36 points. Yeah, you can't loop, unfortunately. Lego Rock Band on DS has it too, and it's so useful, but you can't loop in this game. And I think even AMP 2016 added a hop to the current track button, according to Cisco. No, Devin said it was maximum 2000, so I was responding to that, Borg. Trust me, I don't mix people up like that, especially people I talk to every day. And every time you see that glorious glow in the background, the light is at the end of the tunnel. And believe me, after playing the rock show, you want that. Fuck. Oh. Just get a whiff of that glorious breakdancing, by the way. And now comes my favorite of the first tier, Baseline by Kwarashi. They're Icelandic. So you can see you got 2 drum tracks right there. Bass. Guitar. I was thinking Beastie Boys, but alright. That's what the D stands for? I'm not up on my Beastie Boys lore. Yeah, I was thinking, what's his name? John Cougar? That's what I was thinking. I know he's not country, but you get what I mean. Michael Diamond. Just makes me think of Michael Nesmith. It's pretty yeehaw, yeah. That's him. See, no way in hell I'm gonna be able to hit that transition. So you just... There's a lot of points in the game where you just kind of like, alright, whatever, fuck it, I'll lose my multiplier, it's not a huge deal. That's scary, but at the same time, maybe Rage Against the Machine would be less annoying and pretentious if fucking Mike D was in it instead. Ooh, yeah, there we go. That's a little more like it. Fuck. It's a little bit of a shift. It's a little bit of a shift, Cabby. I have no clue how Metallica is in concert. I've of course heard Metallica songs, but I have no clue how they are in live. So now we've unlocked the boss song, which is one of the songs written for the game. I've never heard of it. But this is the first of the really, like, heavy electronic tracks. There's, like, a ton of drum and bass on the back end of this thing, too. And then, seriously, some of these songs are fucking sick, Devin. You'll want to stick around for it. Not quite this one, but there's some good ones later on. And the boss ones always take place in these crazy fucking tunnels, too. Frankly, by the time we get to the last song in the game, which I mean, not that any of you have heard of it, but I'm not going to spoil it. It feels like you're playing fucking Polybius or something. And it sounds it, too. Like, it sounds like government mind control. They put this in an arcade to control the youth of America. Am I wrong? Well, alright, you can make that judgment when we get there. I'm fully expecting this stream to be blocked worldwide, by the way, once it finishes. One of these songs is going to trigger YouTube's content ID system, but that's okay because I can still download it and I'll just, like, I don't know, cut it up, and if I like any other runs, I'll throw it on YouTube separately. That's perfectly fine though, so long as YouTube buys me dinner first, which they won't, but a man can dream dinner. I would expect pyrotechnics from Metallica, yes. And there we go. I was like, who do I have to fuck to get an Auto Blaster? You'd be surprised. Musicians that aren't total ass can put on a good show well into their 50s. And maybe beyond, if it's not thrash metal. Which Metallica is, so that makes it a little bit rough, but that's okay. See, sometimes the game is like, oh yeah, sure, here's fucking 5 bars of space. But, then sometimes it fucks you up the ass with, like, these transitions that God himself could not hit. And that's just how Amplitude rolls. I'm doing pretty alright for this one, though. Not fantasy hours, it's like trancey dance music hours. And then of course you get a bonus track, which you don't have to play the bonus song straight up, and some of these aren't great, so I won't bother with them. But then, I don't know if it's after specific songs or after a tier, but then you unlock a motherfucking dude. Oh, seriously, like, you need crazy fucking reflexes that just aren't possible. Devin, stop complaining about random people and come back to the stream chat. Alright, moving on to Beat Factory. Oh, shit, yeah. So we've got Run DMC, we got Weezer, and then 2 songs that nobody quite knows. Well, I know, but... Let's start with Weezer. You mean the noise you make? Ooh, that's a hard transition. I'm glad I hit that. What was I just about to say? Oh yeah. This song holds kind of special significance, especially in Milo Hacks, because this was actually one of the songs that Harmonix initially used to test the first Guitar Hero, because they already had the individual instrument parts around. So they actually charted it, or perhaps, we don't actually know how much they did to it. It could have just been a straight-up auto-conversion of the Amplitude chart, because Guitar Hero initially started with 3 buttons. But this is actually still referenced, at the very least, in Guitar Hero, the Harmonix Guitar Hero games, if not, like even some of the Rock Band ones, in a very early, very low-level script that the game initializes defaults in. You can actually see that it references a song called M2, and it's got Dope Nose Mono as the audio. So it was like some kind of weird mixdown of Dope Nose that they used to test the game. And that's one of my many projects. I'd like to rechart it for Guitar Hero 1 just for the historical value, just because it amuses me. Although the audio is not ideal whatsoever. The audio is incredibly choppy. You can't really hear it in-game or on stream, but believe me, it is... Once you hear it isolated, you can actually hear the slices of parts, and I find it amusing, but it's certainly not like studio quality or anything. And also, it's rather low cut. Most of the audio, I think, peaks around 12 or 13K, which is not very high end. Guys, I can't see what you're posting. Borg throws something in the Floofy channel and fucking I can't see right now. I'm on stream and my Discord is providing the stream chat. Fuck. Ooh, I don't know how I managed to hold on to that. I should mention that there's stuff that I would be able to hit on an actual PlayStation controller that I cannot hit on the controller that I normally use with my PS2 or emulator, which is the classic controller for the Wii. Fuck. But basically, R1 and R2, rather than being, you know, something you use 2 fingers for, are just a 1-finger deal, which means that since R1 and R2 control the middle and right blasters respectively, sometimes you'll get stuff like that, especially on Brutal, that are just nope. Yeah, this is some real classic fucking 80s hip-hop right here, Run DMC. I actually didn't I thought this song was called something like Rockin' Without a Band or something, but no, it's like, I don't know, King of Rock or something like that. And it's not the original song. A lot of the songs on this are actually songs that exist, you know, they're original songs, but they're like remixes that were done either for the game or separately. And that's actually going to be one of the boss mixes. I think the one for this tier, actually. Fucking stutters. That hits me sometimes while I'm playing it normally, though, without the stream, so... Such is life. It's okay, I'm not really going for like brilliant scores here. I just want to play some songs for you guys. And yeah, you can actually, Devin, you reminded me. There's actually a couple of different power-ups. So you can see I've got the Auto Blaster power-up, but there's a couple of other power-ups that you can get. There's a score doubler, which doubles the point value that you get for each section. There's a slow-mo power-up, self-explanatory, but then there's also a freestyle power-up, which on a lot of songs lets you literally start scratching a solo on top of the music using the left analog stick. And it's a whole lot of fun. So I'll have to give you a freestyle section at some point, and you can hear my quote-unquote skills. Urban Tumbleweed. Is it bad that I recognized the label name before I recognized anything else about this song? Because this was the label that the first Nine Inch Nails album was released on. Oh, this song is fucking bop, too. It's like cowboy hip-hop. So get your yeehaws in the chat, kids. Fuck. This is gonna be a hell of a transition. Fuck. I do that sometimes. It's hard to time it correctly. Alrighty, and we got the boss song, which is, since I mentioned remixes, David Bowie, Everyone Says Hi, which is like a weird, like, I don't even know how to describe it, electronic kind of mix, but it's a good song. Everyone Says Hi. Man, I'm wishing DCB was in the chat, given that he's one of our more adventurous listeners. I wonder what he would think of some of these, but I don't know where he is today. Maybe he'll pop in later, who knows. I'm sure Mom will be back any moment. Oh, Devin. Freestyle. Oh no, this is one of the freestyle ones that just has a synth instead of the scratching. But yeah. So normally it's like the left and right controls how fast, and then the up and down controls how high pitched. And the scratching, the fast scratching sounds fucking hilarious. Not that it sounds that unrealistic, I don't think. But certainly kind of a little bit unrealistic, I guess you could say. But I mean, at the same time, it's just generic scratching that they probably have to pitch shift the hell out of to make sure it's in the right key, so it sounds good over the music. So, you know, harmonics working with what they have, but at the same time also freestyle solos, so what do they know? There we go. This is one of the bonus songs that I actually do want to play because it's freeze pop. You also known as Sushi's favorite band. If somebody wants to ping him, maybe we can get him in. Maybe we can get him in here and see what he thinks of Super's Road. But either way, we've unlocked the next arena, which is... I actually don't remember what it's called. Metaclouds. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Freeze Pop, bunch of classics. They're like a mainstay in harmonics games, and they're always fantastic. I don't think there's ever been a Freeze Pop song I don't like in one of these games. I hope he responds. I hope he shows up, because that'd be hilarious. I remember he wrote this really scathing review of a Freeze Pop record that one of his friends told him to write, or... Motherfucker's gonna get in here. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. Shit.
In the crowd, we hear you scream so loud. We like to dance and take a chance. So throw your undies on the stage. No, wait, you're underage.
We're playing your favorite band, Freeze Pop.
So uber chic, you know what you are.
Sushi's true love is Freeze Pop all day, every day. Honestly, yeah, I like Freeze Pop. I didn't listen to the one you listened to, Freeze Pop Forever, but I do actually have a copy of Future Perfect on iTunes, and I really liked it. It's not like deep or brilliant or anything, but it's catchy. I think I reviewed it actually on or maybe that was one of the reviews that I did for like my high school newspaper that I didn't end up reusing for NeoCities. I know that I used a couple of them. The Shark Week one is the only one. And the Stella Luna one. That was one that I had originally written for my newspaper. And shit. But then I ended up reusing it for NeoCities because it's not like those ones ever got published. They were kind of just a proof of concept to see if I could, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, that's nice," and then they just kind of like, shoot me away because they fucking forbid people actually write stuff that would want to be read in paper. And apparently, like the school newspaper, the one for our school, is way better now. I remember it was fucking garbage when I went there. Oh man, that's a story. I don't know if I've ever told that story. I probably have. But... they did not appreciate my talents. Alright, so... basically, I was on school newspaper in my sophomore and junior year. And junior year, they don't let you do a whole lot with it. But of course, my thing is writing. And I was really hyped about it, always was. And I saw that I didn't feel like the seniors, or maybe it was my junior and senior year. I think it was junior and senior year. But I didn't think the seniors were doing much good with it. So I would always bitch about them, bitch to them. They probably didn't like me very much, but that's okay. But then I finally became a senior, and then I realized, oh wait, it's not the kids that are the problem. It's the fucking teacher, who was like the 75-year-old fucking douchebag. And the first thing he said to us, our first day, was like, most of these people, you know, they have some opinion about the paper, but they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. I'm like, okay. So he's a little headstrong. And he had run the paper while it was a periodic, I think, quarterly print thing. Oh my god, Jake, please tell me you're shit posting. He asked when the stream starts. Anyway. But this dude refused to have regular content updates. So we were using WordPress. And I had installed a Google Analytics plugin, and the dude, I showed him the one day. I'm like, we have a 55% bounce rate, and a bounce rate is where somebody will hit the front page of your site and then leave. They don't come to any other page, which is bad news, very bad news, because that means they're not checking out any of your other shit. They're checking the front page and then being like, all right, well, there's nothing there, bye. And it ended up becoming a joke. It became a joke with some of my other friends. I'm like, that sucks. It's the school paper. It should have something good there. And every time I would try to get this guy to, like, edit people's fucking stories, never. Not once. He would just be like, just fix the misspellings and just put it out. I'm like, these people cannot write. And it's not like kids can't write. I'm talking about the school paper. With Mr. Sabrinsky, which was fucking garbage, if you remember, Borb. But yeah. So, I would, it's not like kids can't write, but they were just not trained to write. So they wouldn't have any idea how to put together a paragraph, how to structure a story. And I'd be like, hey, you maybe want to teach these kids how to write? And he's like, no, just fix the misspellings and put it up, it's fine. Fucking Russians. I don't actually hate the Russians. But, oh my god, he was so arrogant the entire time. And half the time he'd be like, oh, you know, everybody bring in snacks. Let's have a fucking party. So kids would just be dicking around on Fridays. And I'm like, we're not writing anything. And I would constantly fucking fight with this guy. He would never make it so the social media ever got updated. Fucking ever. You know, I'd be like, hey, we need somebody to update the social media. And pretty much all that ever got posted was garbage memes. And I just, I was so pissed. Yeah, really. It absolutely was just like, well, it's a thing that we had in paper form. Let's have it in digital form now. After all, it's 2015, the digital future, you know. So, I started really regularly fucking fighting with him. Because I was like, you're not running your paper correctly. And I was I think the final straw, I remember, the final straw happened when, let me get this music out of the way because this is actually really loud. The final straw came when I was doing all of this shit for the paper, but I hadn't submitted any stories of myself, of my own volition, and he was going to give me, I think, a 27% for the quarter, and I'm like, bitch, I am doing all of this administration stuff. I am setting up your fucking tech presence. I am resizing images for people. I'm doing all this shit. You're not going to give me a fucking 27%. That's bullshit. So I ended up going to, I had some friends in higher up places, we'll say. And I went to them and I'm like, I'm done with this fucking dude and his shitty fucking school paper. And they're like, all right, what we'll do, we'll give you a half year's credit for this course and then we'll move you to a study hall. And I'm like, fine, well and good. That's perfectly fine. So what I did, my last day, I was like, he basically wanted me gone, but I was like, can I say a little something to the rest of the class? And he was like, all right, go ahead. I want to say goodbye, you know? So I said, so I got up in front of the whole class, and I'm like, well, all right, I'm out. It's been lovely working with you guys. I wish you the best of luck. I'm sorry that you have to deal with him. And I left. And apparently he was staring daggers into the back of my head. as I left the room, and I never talked to him again. But I still had friends in that class, and they were like, yeah, it's exactly the same as when you were here. So I dodged a bullet, but apparently it's way better, and they actually like regularly post content now, which is crazy. So yeah, that's how we do in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. We suck. Let's get back to the game. So we got Meta Clouds. We've got Pink, we got Papa Roach, and we've got this Mekon song, which is fucking sick. But we'll play that a little bit later. Let's start with the Pink song. Oh, I regularly would just like talk shit in front of people. I'm amazed I never got my ass kicked. Such is life. Listen, I had to calm down for my health and for Cappy's health. This is where the songs actually start to get vaguely challenging. Fuck. Yeah, they try to teach peer review stuff pretty regularly. Problem is, they never teach kids the correct way to do it, so it's literally like, hey, you misspelled something. Oh, thank you. My spell checker fucking already caught it, but thank you. And shit pisses me off, because kids can fucking write, and nobody teaches them how to. So they have no clue how to structure anything, they have no clue... And they don't have any love for it either. They don't have any love for the written word, even though that's, like, the ideal way to communicate as a human being. You know? Hey, Devin. Yeah, you're not the first person to say this looks like audio surf, and then Mon was like, what the fuck is an audio surf? Damn it. How do periods work? You get one once a month, and it sucks, apparently. I wouldn't know. It's not something that I have first-hand experience with, as you might be able to guess. Yeah, I can't imagine playing audio surf with a controller, or, controller. I always played it with a mouse. Yeah, basically. My balls don't have a hole in them, Borb, and I don't think yours do either. Imagine you turn into an orange once a year and the only way to change back is to have someone pee. That's some weird fucking fetish you've got. But yeah, people don't know how to write and it pisses me off. This is what school is meant for and they don't fucking teach it. Ever. Papa Roach time, baby. Shit. I got that one wrong. Gabby's just showing off the fact that she's able to post pictures in the stream chat. Fuck! I am gonna get this transition correct. I will. There we go, that's a little bit better. Whatever, I don't give a shit, fuck it. Yeah, I made that transition. Fuck yeah. Oh shit, I was too busy reading Borb's message. My bad. Oh man. What the fuck are we doing to our kids? It's still occasionally Borb now. You're just not Lolak Hioya anymore. Apparently that took Jake fucking 10 minutes to write, so it's not really surprising. I can actually believe him. Who's forced to? I never wanted to kill. You guys are making me fuck up on this song. I don't know how Asai does it, playing very hard charts and giggling at the same time. I never had a problem with spelling, honestly. I think I almost won a regional spelling bee. I fucked up on the word corduroy. I am man enough to admit that. But to be fair, I was like 11 years old. Cabby's crazy. She's fucking... Oh, here's the Mekon song, which is great. But she's actually not technically... She's technically ESL, and I did not know until she told me. Frankly, now the one you gotta worry about is if she can hold on to her Welsh. This song is fucking sick. Yeah, I've been playing them on and off since I was like 7 years old, and I've yet to get sick of them. Part of it's also finding a mode of play that you really like. Like, I'm a beast at Rockman drums, and the fact that I've destroyed like 3 or 4 kits in my very short life kind of proves that. But that's how I learned how to play drums, was just playing expert drums on Rock Band. Shit. Oh, singing while you play an instrument is fucking hard. That's the thing that makes something like Soundgarden super impressive to listen to, because some of their songs are in like the most bizarre meters, and Chris Cornell not only has to wail over that, but he has to play guitar at the same time. Also, to be fair, a lot of games that have rhythm modes fucking have terrible rhythm mechanics, so I fucked up a lot on games that just have terrible rhythm minigames. That was not a very good run of what's going on, but that's okay. So we got Herbie Hancock. This is kind of an annoying one. I can never keep a multiplier on this one, but that's okay. We'll get through it. There's a lot of notes going on, fuck. No, it doesn't autoplay because I'm not focused in the window, because I like to have a stable frame rate to play the game. I could probably get into AC/DC. I like the couple of songs from them I know from them. Big Balls is a fucking classic. Of course you mentioned Ray William Johnson, Jake. Not like there's any other music in the world. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Nah, God. It's just the boomer rock central today, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I could probably get into them too. I like, Used to Love Her. That's a good song. And thank God that's over. Not that it's a bad song, I just don't care to play it much. Bonus song, Production Club, Rockstar. If you haven't heard of them, that's okay. The only reason I know about them is because they mentioned Wally Gagel's name, and he's the guy who produced a lot of the Folk Implosion. No, you have no idea. The stereo mix of it in the soundtrack menu is 8 minutes long. 8 minutes of basically that. It hurts. So thankfully we're on to Electrocore. We only got 2 tiers left to go, kids. So we've got... This is where the songs get really difficult, by the way. So we've got... As far as I know, I don't think any of you guys are going to recognize any of what's in this section, but that's okay. Because at least chat's popping now. You guys are having some good conversation. And I am enjoying reading it. Oh, see? Here's what I mean by the big radioactive pool underneath you in Electrocore. Absolutely breathtaking. I don't know who said the PS2 looks fucking dated. Shit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with boomer rock. I mean, Nirvana is fucking boomer rock at this point. Gen X is in their 40s and 50s. That's what people don't recognize. People still think Nirvana is like wild and aggressive and youthful, but like I think Kurt would be in his 50s today, and Dave and Chris are in their 50s today. So yeah, about that. Oh. Quick! Scratchy solo. I mean, to be fair, this game is from 2003, Borb, so we're kind of vibing to 2000 stuff here on this stream this evening. Yeah, those are actual video files that you can get out of the game. I think they're Bink video. And seriously, if you're gonna play a rhythm game, it's really hard to argue with the pedigree on this one. I mean, it's fucking Harmonix. Nobody has built a better feeling engine than Harmonix did for Guitar Hero 2. There is no better rhythm game engine. It simply doesn't exist. Ass Blaster. Honestly, it's the opposite of Ass Blaster. It saves my ass quite regularly. And I mean, Mon, if you have a controller and a memory card and you have OPL, you can just go grab games off Vim. You don't even need games. You might as well just go off and play it. This is definitely a good place to start. Yeah, but Blender fucking sucks. Play Amplitude. Also, there's nothing that gets me more erect when songs on a PlayStation mention the word PlayStation. Ew. Jake, I'm so sorry. Guitar Hero 3 fucking blows. I'm so sorry. You deserved better. Yeah, seriously, Guitar Hero 2 is one of the best games ever made. Guitar Hero 3 blows out of a pig's ass. And I could ramble for days about it. GH3 fucking sucks. The problem with it mainly, aside from it looking so ridiculously ugly, the soundtrack isn't bad, but it shares a lot of the songs with the first Rock Band, and that's a problem that, for whatever reason, a lot of those games have. World Tour has a pretty similar track list to Rock Band 2. I'm not sure why. Oops. Goddamn stutters. The problem with Guitar Hero 3 is the hit window is ridiculously big. So, a lot is to be said about how a rhythm game feels. And let me stop for a moment and let me explain something real quick. When you have a rhythm game, obviously the most important part of the rhythm game is the way that the game feels. The way that when you hit notes, the visual feedback when you hit a note, and the amount of time that you have to hit each note. And this is where a game that has a very poor rhythm engine will feel wrong. And of course, latency is also kind of an issue. If you have a built-in, like, tenth of a second of delay, it's going to feel like ass. But such is life, especially in the HDTV age. That's why, like, for example, Scott in Milo Hacks happens to have a fucking... He swears by Trinitron tubes, because CRTs, not only are they really good CRTs, but they also don't have any input delay or visual lag, which is hugely important. But the problem with Guitar Hero 3 is that the hit window is fucking huge, and the visual feedback when you hit a note is non-existent. So with Guitar Hero 2, there's a very satisfying flame when you hit a note, and it feels good. It feels really, really good. When you hit a note, it feels substantive, and when you hold a sustain, it's like a sparkler. You have the visual aspect of it, and it feels like you're connected to the notes. And also the hit window, while not crazy tight, is just relaxed enough, because the first Guitar Hero has a really tight hit window. And then the second Guitar Hero, they relaxed it a little bit. And then with Guitar Hero 3, because they were trying to simulate what Guitar Hero 2 felt like, the problem is that they were doing it on the Tony Hawk engine. So quite literally, they were wrapping what was a Tony Hawk game in this Guitar Hero skin, and they have such a ridiculously huge hit window that you don't actually feel like you're necessarily connected to the notes. So you can be a good half a second off, still hit a note, and it's a very wide window, but the problem is that when you're right at the edge of that window, you don't notice it necessarily. When you're hitting notes relatively late in Guitar Hero 2, you feel it. You feel like, oh shit, I should probably slow down a little bit. And Amplitude, since we're talking about hit windows, has a very similar hit window, I feel, to Guitar Hero 1. So it's very tight, and there's not too much leeway. You have to be pretty good on it. Whereas Guitar Hero 2 has just the right amount of give to it. Guitar Hero 3 has way too much give to it. So if you're right on the edge of the window, you don't notice it quite as much as if you're right on the edge of the window in 1 or 2. So you'll start to miss notes, and you're like, what the fuck was that? I'm not missing notes. So you have the combination of the lack of visual feedback, which makes it doesn't feel like you're hitting notes. It feels like you're hitting fucking air, basically, because the flames are too small and they disappear way too quickly. Whereas in Guitar Hero 2, they take a little bit to disappear, and that it feels good. But in 3, they disappear way too quickly, and then also the fact that the hit window is so big means that it doesn't really feel like you're ever hitting the notes. And then the other big problem with Guitar Hero 3 is that all of the songs are ridiculously overcharted. So you have a couple of different charting philosophies, and the one that Neversoft took, because a lot of the people that they hired to chart the songs in the game were Guitar Hero 2 modders, who were naturally really, really good at the game and then wanted a challenge. So they were big into like the overcharting kind of stuff that you would later see with Guitar Hero 3 PC custom charts and then later Clone Hero. But the notes in Guitar Hero 3 charts are so ridiculously overcharted. Before I Forget is probably the greatest example of that. Before I Forget being the Slipknot song. That song is in drop D. So a lot of the notes in the main riff especially are done with one finger. Now, the initial feeling of Guitar Hero 2 and the initial way that harmonics was charting, and they kind of carried this over with Rock Band. Not really, but they tried to at least. Was that they were trying to mirror the way that certain actual stuff on a guitar feels to play. So you have something like a power chord, which is generally done with 2 fingers or perhaps 3 fingers. But that, your fingers are a certain width apart. And as a result, a 1-3, 2-4, or 3-5 chord, the green, yellow, or red, blue, etc. chords, they feel a lot like power chords. They feel good. Whereas in a song that's in a weird tuning, like, again, Before I Forget being in drop D, a lot of what sounds like a chord can be played with one finger, especially with really heavy distortion. And then with, especially the chorus of that song, you have a lot of these 3-note chords, which 3-note chords are mostly used for songs, or for chords that are they have kind of a weird, like a weird overtone to them. So you think your suspended or your augmented chords are probably a good example. Open chords, I imagine, would probably be another example of one that you really want a 3-note chord for. But they're generally chords that have kind of a suspended pitch over them, or kind of like they feel big. You think of the chord at the beginning of "Trippin' on a Hole in a Paper Heart" by Stone Temple Pilots. That is a 3-note chord. It's just this big kind of chord that has the normal duality of a chord, and then it has an additional pitch on top of it that kind of gives it that big resonance. Whereas in Guitar Hero 3, they use 3-note chords for fucking everything, which completely ruins what the point of the 3-note chord is. It doesn't feel big. So you have something like Before I Forget, where the entire chorus riff is all power chords, and they're using 3 notes for it. It doesn't feel accurate. It's just kind of a mess. And hold on, I'll be right back. Apologies, I thought someone was knocking. Somebody is not. But there's just a bunch of issues with Guitar Hero 3. Another charting disaster that I can think of with it is actually the final song, Through the Fire and Flames. There's parts of it that are a synthesizer charted to the guitar part. And they did it because it makes it quote-unquote more fun, but all it does is overchart the song. And Neversoft, I think, would partially rein it back in their later games, but a lot of it is still just, I don't know. And meanwhile, Harmonix has their own problems with charting, especially in the first Guitar Hero game, and now with Rock Band 4, their charts tend to be pretty deaf. They don't really match up to what you're playing, and that was a huge problem in like we joke all the time about the Ace of Spades outro, which is this crazy like fluttery thing in the recording, and you play like 6 notes for it, and it doesn't match up to what you're hearing. And then that's what they had later on with Rock Band 4, especially the DLC that's coming out now. It just doesn't match up to anything you're hearing whatsoever. It just doesn't feel wrong. It doesn't feel right at all. But Rock Band 4 is also kind of a gigantic pile of shit in its own right, and I don't feel like I'm missing anything not owning a PS4 and Xbox One to play it. So yeah, that's why I always kind of hate it when the Guitar Hero 3 is the one that everybody remembers, because Guitar Hero 3 doesn't feel correct in the slightest. There's just a lot wrong with it. Guitar Hero 2 has just a much nicer engine and much nicer charting. And they tightened it up, apparently, a good bit for the later Neversoft games, but by that point I was kind of already checked out of this stuff. But anyway, let's continue on with the game. Yeah, basically. At least from my perspective, certainly I wouldn't begrudge people playing it, but I just wish it wasn't the one that everybody remembers, because it's got problems with it. And in fact, I have debated bringing some of the Guitar Hero 3 songs over to the 2 engine, because Rock Band was, of course, always a 4-player. You got your drums, you got your vocals, guitar, bass. Whereas Guitar Hero 3 tried to continue on in the 2 vein of having just your guitar and your bass, so it's a 3-stem arrangement. So I've debated potentially bringing over some of the 3 audio, and because, like I said, 3 has a pretty good soundtrack. It has fucking Welcome to the Jungle, which is why Slash is on that poster board. It has a lot of the really good songs from 2 are there. When You Were Young by the Killers is great. Before I Forget, despite the chart being garbage, is a really fun and cool song. And they added that one in Rock Band 3 with the tiny piano part that doesn't even really much matter. But hey, look, you're getting use out of that ridiculously expensive keyboard peripheral that Harmonix decided to play with for like 3 years and then got rid of and doesn't support in Rock Band 4 anymore. Still pisses me off about that, but anyway. There's a Sonic Youth song on there that's pretty cool. You got Rock You Like a Hurricane, that's another one. School's Out, that's on there. Barracuda. Oh my god, Barracuda. Fucking great song. So Guitar Hero 3 has a good soundtrack. I was just thinking of, like, I'm going to take some of these songs and put them in a better engine, because naturally a lot of what I do is like that. It's so iconic. It's so classic. Obviously, I've got way too many chart projects and stuff to do before then, but definitely for Marf GH, which is my custom disc. It's a very odd thing to say out loud, but that's the name of it. I'll be looking into including some of that stuff, for sure. But let me actually get back to the game. Damn it. Damn it. That was garbage. I don't know how I got 4 bars on that. That was garbage. I think this song has some pretty nasty transitions too, so we'll see how I do with them. At some point, the nasty transitions just kind of become unavoidable because there's so many notes going on in especially the later songs that have these crazy drum and bass patterns. Ah, fucking stutters. Somebody get me a PS2 stat. I don't know how I managed to keep a hold of that one. Fuck. I swear that's the Pac-Man ghost siren in the background of this song. My computer is alright enough for it. It's not brilliant. A lot of the games are more kind of just playable rather than perfect. But it's decently playable. Honestly, for streaming PS2 games, the thing that I would be looking for is probably a capture device. I don't know... Because ideally, I'd like to get something that's probably not USB, although I think all of them are USB. I'll have to ask DCB what he's using, because he gets pretty decent results out of his Wii using some kind of capture device. I don't know how it would be necessarily trying to play rhythm games through a capture device, but if I can get like a splitter or like some kind of pass-through where I can pass it on to, you know, some kind of CRT or a small CRT, you know, that's especially ideal. That's the kind of thing you really want. And I'd be able to play games like that and not have to worry about the emulator fucking up in some capacity, and it means you'd also get a much, I guess, more accurate, softer picture, since it's being rendered by an actual PS2 and not just software that's pretending to be a PS2. Yeah, absolutely. I have, especially Wii games that I can play on Dolphin, but I have saves on my Wii, so I'd have to literally transfer my NAND, and I don't really want to do that. I mean, I already have the Wii, I might as well just play Wii games. I think I'm going to beat Amplitude in this sitting. It's not a game that takes a whole long time. There you go. I mean, we're already, we're only like an hour and 45 minutes into it, and we're already on the boss of the 4th tier, so we're getting there. The 5th tier is crazy. Let's see what we get. I think this is the Slipknot song. Yeah! Alright. A classic Slipknot, too. Not like Before I Forget Poppy Slipknot. This is like nasty Slipknot. Oh boy. I'm telling you, this game has a crazy mix of songs. The 5th tier is pretty damn good, though. Like, there's tons of drum and bass. There's Blink-182 track. All sorts of good shit in the 5th one. Yeah. This is what that comes off of Iowa. This is the kind of stuff that makes me pleased that I managed to rip all of the songs from the game, because I explained this in the blog post that I posted today, but Amplitude actually stores 2 different audio formats for each of its songs. Oh shit, my bad. You've got the one that you actually play in-game, which is all of the instrument parts that are cut up into samples, so you have to reconstruct them, and that's not ideal. They kind of sound a little bit off, but it works well enough, basically. And then you've also got, there's a soundtrack mode, which is the proper CD stereo mix of each of the songs. And that's what I managed to rip, literally just based off of someone's example code that they left on a forum 4 years ago. So that was a pretty fun adventure. But I managed to get them all ripped, and once I get decent cover art for it, I'll be throwing that up in my soundtrack section. So, and there's some fucking bangers on this soundtrack, so definitely happy to have them in the collection. And some of them are totally unique mixes that, you know, they're not like just the one you get on the CD. Like the ultimate song in this game is not the same one that you'll find all over the internet. It's a slightly different one, which means I'll probably end up posting it to YouTube. that was not a bad showing of the song at all. Very pleased. And bonus track for this one is actually that's not a bad song. I kind of like that one. We got a Yeehaw Man for our unlock for this tier. It's a crazy song. Like I'm sure there's some people who have only heard like the later Slipknot stuff, like me, and then you go back to this song and it's just a fucking aggressive, blasty mess. Not that it's bad though. I like it. And speaking of blasting, here's the final arena, Blastlands, which is where you get a lot of like I said, we got a drum and bass track right there. We got Blink. Let's go for Blink. Can't go wrong with Blink, even though I suck at this song. It's worse on Brutal. I can do it decently well on fucking. Oh shit, my bad. I was putting in my headphones because ow, fuck. Did I do something to my ear canal? Blink time. Damn it. I haven't listened to any of the earlier Blink stuff. You know, I covered Enema of the State and Rediscovering because my older sister had a copy of it and it ended up in my hands. It was actually pretty great. There we go. That's a little more like it. Yeah, it's one of those albums that's like, yeah, okay, I guess you could call it the objective best, but it's not most people's favorite, you know? Like, I find the songs that I've heard off of Self-Titled to be far more interesting than anything on Enema, but... or this album, anyway. That wasn't bad at all. It's crazy to think that that used to fucking fatigue me. Yeah, it really does. And it's really one of the hardest songs in the game because it's so fucking fast. This song was so hype when I found it because if you remember my Tony Hawk 2 streams, well, this was on the soundtrack. This is actually a remix of Subculture which is one of my favorite fucking songs on that soundtrack. To me, it feels purpose built for fucking the New York level, which is weird because they're from California, I think. But this is like an extra grimy like remix of it. Bless those sections so I can actually like read the chat, the breather sections. Yeah, honestly, I don't tend to care for. It's not necessarily that I don't care for them, but like I don't really listen to them for pleasure. The games that have like songs written for them, I tend to definitely go for the ones with like actual licensed songs, and Tony Hawk is absolutely up there. That's the thing that's crazy. I spent fucking ages shit-talking Guitar Hero 3, but the Tony Hawk games feel fantastic. There's nothing at all I complain about. Certainly the second one, if not the third one. Seriously, it fucking is. Yeah, that's the thing. Even that weird 2X remake I hear people talk about sometimes, even with all the complaints about it, I'd still get it, just because, I mean, Tony Hawk 1 level's fucking remade for the Xbox sounds awesome. Damn it. Whew. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I kind of get that with Tony Hawk 3, if only because I ended up, once you get the revert, it is really, really difficult not to rely on the revert, especially when you're like me and you end up using I'm a vert skater, you know, in those games. I don't really do the street thing, I don't do the lines thing. I do a lot of combos on half pipes. And it's really hard to go back to a game that doesn't have the revert as a result. But definitely Tony Hawk 1 felt super like, fuck, my manuals? Where are my manuals? I need my manuals. Because, and once you have the manuals, it makes the kinds of scores that were goals in the first game totally trivial. But anyway, it's time for the song. the song. The song. This is the song that makes your head spin. Synthesized. This is the final song in the game, and it is hard on every difficulty. But man, it's so great. Seriously, this song, I said it sounded like Polybius earlier, and I stand by that. So I hope you're ready. It looks fucking great. Shit. Oh my god. Shit. And I think you're getting a real good idea of how difficult this game is from this song. Or how difficult this game can be, anyway. Shit. You don't have the stuttering on a console, obviously, so don't mind that. And yeah, no, this game is a fucking blast. And they remade it, too, apparently. I don't know how the remake goes, but they remade it, so if you got a PS3 or a PS4 lying around, you can buy it and play it. Oh, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to hit any of this. Nope. Try another track. Oh, fuck. Close. Yeah, I heard that the PS3 store was shutting down. That's why you buy your games fucking physical, lordy. Whew. Deep breaths. There we go. Amplitude beaten. We'll play some of the tracks on Brutal, just to give you an idea of the difficulty jump, but... Whew. And yes, there was actually an online mode for both Amplitude and Frequency in the early 2000s. You could literally play online with people. It's kind of nuts. And apparently the people have managed to make the online features work again. Frequency itself didn't support network play, but a demo of Frequency was included with the demo of the PS2's network adapter. So that's how people were able to hack it, and you were able to actually switch out the demo disc for the main game disc, and then have all of the songs available in network play, which is pretty sick. So it's a good incentive to actually buy the whole game. Not bad at all. And what's funny too is that this guy, computer controller, we just played multiple of his songs. He's gone under many, many names, and Symbian Project being another one. Trust me, he's pretty great. Whew. Whew. It's just 2 straight hours of playing this game. I'm like, whoa. Trippy. Yeah. Let's see if we can't load that save from the second memory card. Yep, there's my other guy. Cool. So that's the guy. Oh. Come on. Yeah, I guess copy him to the main one. Yeah, go for it. Fuck it. That's the one I was playing on seriously anyway. Alrighty, cool. Wait, what the fuck? Replace copying campaign data. I guess it doesn't copy over the actual model? That's weird. I don't blame him. I would regret making Flappy Bird too. Do I have my other songs at least? No, I don't. Alright. Time to do a little bit more memory card nonsense. So, I don't think I had any of my best scores on the save what we just played, so I'm not really too concerned. But we'll just copy it right from the second memory card and get back into it, and I'll show you some of the stuff on Brutal. Yo, wait. There we go. Well, yeah, that's because Flappy Bird was a fucking meme game. Basically, Flappy Bird primed us for, like, a lifetime of fucking Among Us and garbage like that, where nobody actually likes playing it, but we all play it because our friends play it. I don't play it, period, because fuck that nonsense. There's also a remix function, but it requires the L3 and R3 buttons, and the classic controller doesn't have those. So we can't do any of the remix stuff, but there is a soundtrack mode, like I said, and the soundtrack mode, of course, lets you play the songs, their actual versions, and not the cut-up versions that are in the game, and that's what I ended up ripping. But let's get on Brutal, because I actually did just beat Brutal earlier, and there's a couple of differences. Oh, fuck, I forgot about Goat Simulator. God damn, you remember how everyone loved that game and then nobody ever played it ever again? Literally just so people could scream at it on stream? Pepperidge Farm remembers. But anyway, so there's a couple songs in here that are different. So for example, Acrobatic and Symbian versus Symbian, which is pretty great. It's a pretty dope song. I can't think of anything that seems different right now. I know that there's a song that's only unlockable on Insane, but maybe we'll play Stardew next stream. I know my last Stardew stream got fucking eaten, but let's play some of the songs that I really like on Brutal, and you get a good feeling for how much harder they are. Let's go with that Mekon song. I dedicate this one to Devin, who had to drop out earlier, and I was busy rambling about Guitar Hero 3. But this song is fucking awesome, so let's play it again. But this time, let's play the harder version. And it'd probably suck at it because, you know, I'm playing it on stream where my computer's busy doing other shit. But instantly, you could see how there's just so much more in the way of notes. That transition is bullshit right at the start. So let me try to get that correct. Mekon. Ah, fuck. Goddamn. I'm going way too fast on that first button. One more time. If I can't get it, we'll just play the song like normal. Yes, got it. Damn it. No! Whew. Let's slow-mo that because that's a little bit... That's kind of shitty. Someone tell Newhouse to actually watch the stream and talk to me. Damn it! Ah, bitch! Motherfucker! This awful stutter. It seems to only be compounded by the fact that I wanted to play on the higher difficulty. I guess it's a good thing that we decided to play the actual... We decided to play it on normal and not insane, because this is now actually running at a solid 95% speed. So, you can tell I'm not doing too brilliant. Also, thank you, Sushi. I'm still not gonna fuck you. No! It's not that I suck, I swear. The stutter is just awful. Alright. Well, that didn't go quite as planned. I'm sorry. Let's try another song. We'll try Bassline, because even on Insane I can play Bassline pretty well. And Sushi wasn't here for Bassline, so indulge in the Kwarashi. I'm gonna get on camera and show my tits for all of you. Suddenly everybody was like, whoa, wait, we didn't agree to that. I would probably kill myself if I was actually an influencer. I would probably live stream my suicide. I'm sorry, I am a blight on society. Let me eat this gun. But let me not say what I don't mean, and then YouTube removes me because I live streamed my suicide again. Did you see that, Sushi? YouTube decided to remove the stream that I called "Call It My Lo-Fi Suicide," which is a folk implosion lyric. That's not even like a reference to anything in particular. But yeah, they were like, "Oh yeah, you actually killed yourself on stream," and I'm like, "I promise I didn't, YouTube." And then they reinstated it. That was pretty great. Thanks, YouTube. I appreciate you caring about my safety, but I promise you, I'm not actually suicidal. Peace. Damn it. Sometimes I overshoot the track I'm supposed to hit. Motherfucker. Yeah, it's definitely this kind of game that gives you an appreciation for how songs are put together. And although, again, it's not really ideal, you can actually get stems out of this game. I have the stems for, and actually I found out while I was preparing this stream that my screen capture actually apparently works. So maybe I'll actually give you guys an idea right before the stream ends of what the actual reassembled stems of this kind of song sound like. Because like I said earlier, I wanted to try and throw Dope Nose back into GH1 since it was one of the songs that they tested the first Guitar Hero with, because they already had the stems. They didn't have to license anything again. I don't want to call him a friend because I don't really know him, but he's an absolute legend called Onyxite. He wrote a little program called Amplitude that takes these samples out of the game and actually reassembles them into something resembling instruments, because they're literally quite like a sample for a snare, a sample for like one syllable of the vocals, etc., so on and so forth. And yeah, the switching mechanic is so much fun. And Harmonix reused this mechanic, this style of game, over and over and over. They used... Whoops, I did not mean to practice this song. They reused it for Rock Band Unplugged on the PSP. The two Rock Band games that made it to DS. Rock Band Blitz is quite literally like this. And I believe that... I don't know if there's track switching in it, but I think Phase, which is the game that they made for the Click Wheel iPods, I think that has something that's kind of similar. But... let's play that Bowie song again, because this is a good song, and this will be like the last one for the night, actually. Yeah. Yeah, Dope Nose. Actually, yeah, I just mentioned it. Hold on. You know what? Screw it. Let's play Dope Nose instead. So you guys get a good A-B comparison of how it sounds in the game versus how it's going to sound when I just play it to you guys through Audacity. But yeah, let's play Dope Nose. And this is a weird kind of extended mix where they loop the verses. And it becomes, rather than it being like 2 minutes long, it becomes 3 minutes long. Very strange. But yeah, let's play Dope Nose. That's a bullshit fucking transition, so I'm glad I hit that. I wonder what the freestyle sample bank they'll use on this song is. I can't imagine the synth or the scratching works too well for it. Maybe it's the quote-unquote guitar. We'll see. Yeah, it's a quote-unquote guitar. Or maybe it's even the same synth bank. I'm not sure. Quote-unquote guitar. I love the slow-mo power-up. It does such wonderful things to the audio. Making Rivers Cuomo sound like a big fucking fat black chick. Damn it. Fuck. And yeah, drums tend to be the craziest part, especially when they get to a lot of break beats and stuff. You get a whole lot of like trills between, for lack of a better term, trills between two buttons. It's... You really want a DualShock for this game. Don't play it like on a classic controller like I am, but... Boy. And there you go. And we'll just enjoy my toxic doom guy with his bizarro dance moves. DCB! DCB appears. He's typing. It's all good, man. Definitely curious to see what you think of some of these songs. So it sucks that you couldn't be here, but that's alright. You probably don't have the VOD because one of these songs is going to make the entire stream get blocked worldwide, but whatever. To finish off, let's get the game off for a moment and transfer to just my screen. Which, give me a moment. I gotta snap it. There we go. Yeah, so you're getting a good appearance of my screen and everything on my desktop, which is all a bunch of projects that I still have to complete. And, of course, OBS. But anyway, since we just played Dope Nose, I'd like to show you, desktop docs, you get to see this. I need to get another one. This is for winter. But it's lovely, and I'm sure I'll use it next winter just because I love it. But anyway, so, since we were just playing Dope Nose, I figured I would play for you all the majesty that is the reconstructed samples of Dope Nose. And in fact, I'll actually show you what I have to mix down as far as audio goes to get customs going in Guitar Hero 2. So I don't have the individual samples at this point. I might still have them in my recycle bin. Nope. I have so much shit in my recycle bin, it lags like a motherfucker, so pardon me. But it will pop up. Alright, there we go. There's Weezer. Yes, Weezer. So, I do still have them. So, there's 12 tracks for each bank. Or, I don't know if it's exactly 12, but 12 for this bank. So, you've got 2 drum tracks, 2 guitar tracks, a bass track, a vocals track, a contour, which I'm not too keen on. I'm not sure what it does. But, I didn't actually use any of that in my stem mix down, and then the intro, which is just the intro part that you hear before the actual song kicks in. So we'll go ahead and load these up real quick into Audacity, and I will make sure these are going through headphones so that way you can hear them in OBS. Let me check real quick. Yes, you can hear those just fine. So let's just get everything thrown in here. And you also have a click track, which I don't think the click track is necessarily audible in game, but it's there. Let me throw the stream chat over here so that way you guys can see. You can get a good look. So like I said, these were actually reconstructed from samples. So an example of a sample would be, for example, I think like this. That's it. That would be a sample. So what this program, Amplitude, does is it takes what you can see here, these BNK files. These are the sound banks for each of the files. And then reconstructs them into something resembling the actual vocal track or other relevant instrument track. Dead on my head. And you also get to hear that lovely aliasing, because these are very much not full spectrum. These are, for example, this cuts off at a solid 10K, so not exactly the highest quality stuff, but dead on my head, wasting time on my own. Still, it's a pretty fascinating listen, and every single bit of audio in the game has this. So we got the this guitar. You can see actually where the sample joins, because there's a big cut point where it just kind of like interpolated just to kind of guess. And this song was also released on Guitar Hero Van Halen, so believe it or not, there are much higher quality stems floating around for this song, but that's perfectly okay. I'm not concerned about that, because I really wanted to get specifically the Amplitude mix of the song in Guitar Hero 1, warts and all. Here's what the click track sounds like. You can hear that that's what the actual thing at the start of the song sounded like. And here's that intro part. And there's 2 intro bits. So you have just the bass, just that intro bass slide, and then you have the actual intro part. And of course, all together you can reconstruct what the actual song sounded like. And the 2 drum tracks, because of course Weezer wasn't like using any electronic drums or whatever, you've got one that seems to be more the actual kick and the snare, and then you got one that seems to be more cymbals. And together those would create something resembling the drum track. So I don't have everything totally separated, but what I do have are these mixdowns that I use to create the files for Guitar Hero 1 and 2. So we'll use the Guitar Hero 2 one real quick, because like I said, I mentioned that Guitar Hero 2 has a 3-stem arrangement, which is band, stereo, guitar, and then usually mono bass, but I'll make it stereo bass for this. So you have your count in, which is your count in. And I'll try to lower the volume for everything real quick. You can hear everything kind of stuttering. but it's still perfectly usable. And like I said, we don't have any videos because this was really, really early in Guitar Hero's development. Probably the era of the Pong build. So if you don't know the history of Guitar Hero, the initial builds of the game were more abstract, a bit more like Amplitude, and they had 3 buttons because they were originally using Guitar Freak's controllers, imported from Japan, actually, because they didn't have the real guitar peripherals made. So they were testing out with 3 buttons, like Amplitude, and they were said to use more Pong-style graphics. And people, they realized that that didn't really connect with people as well as you're watching an actual band, quote-unquote band, playing at a club or something. So in making people play the guitar part or something, kind of resembling the guitar part, they also wanted to make people feel like they were actually at a show. So that's where you saw the switch away from the Pong-style graphics to what we now know of as Guitar Hero, where you get the whole band on stage. And that is right around the time that Dope Nose would have been in the game. And in fact, if I pull up... yeah, that'll work for right now. If I pull up Scott's DTA pack for Guitar Hero 1, you've got, config... Or would it be in ... I think it would be in ... system, run, config, gen, and default. You can see all the garbage that I have open in Notepad++, but if you scroll down, as the default song that the game would overwrite with the later... Ooh, I guess it's not here. Sad little app. I don't know what that means. Well, I could just do a real quick search for it. It's not a huge deal. That's what I'll do then real quick. Hold on. I'll just extract the GH1 stuff and then do a find in files. There we go. It's in slip test. So slip being their internal name for the guitar. So slip tracks, and then tracks is just the band. Oh, I bet you are, but don't worry. I really have not. I don't have anything. Believe me, all of my interesting stuff is saved elsewhere. But yeah, you can see that song. These are the default song names. So you have M2, M-Test, M2 Test, M2 Weezer Mono, and then Dope Nose Final. We don't have what Dope Nose Final is, but I believe that this stuff actually survived into the Rock Band era. So it's in system, run, config, slip test. I guess there is no slip test. Maybe it's just in default? I don't know, but I'll check. This is actually where I found out. We had to dig through this the other day because somebody had found out that there's actually a debug menu in the leaked Guitar Hero 2 and 80s builds from Project Deluge, where if you hold down L2 and R2, or L1 and L2, or R1 and R2, you actually can pull up debug stuff. So whether it be the timers that the game uses to like measure how fast something's rendering, or you can turn autoplay on and off, or stuff like that. So we actually had to pull up this file because it has an explanation for the cheats. So they have them defined as left cheats and right cheats. And this is actually brilliant because the version of Rock Band 1 that came out on the PS2 was not done by Harmonix. It was a port done by another studio, and they fucked up and they included full DTAs because all of the scripts in the actual game are tokenized, but they actually are just these plain text things normally, but these are the original ones that Harmonix used to build the DTBs that actually run in the game, and these have full comments. So this is basically not only the best look that we've ever had into how the game actually runs, but also into the inner workings of the game through the comments that they leave. Because believe me, there are crazy amounts of comments of just really what everything is. So, like this is explaining how the game will append new DTB tokens to the script as it loads them. You know, stuff like that. But yeah, so as you can see in GH1, there still are references to Dope Nose. And that is what I wanted to do. I wanted to take the Amplitude audio files that they were using, or at least what we have of them, and then recreate it for Guitar Hero 1, because that just amuses me for some reason. And this is actually what the mix down for GH1 would be. Oh, that's GH2 one. But GH1 has no bass, so it's literally it's just band and then the guitar track. So you just got your separated guitar, and then you've got the whole band. And you gotta, really, the big thing is the ridiculous transition, because in the actual recording they kind of build up to it a little bit, the entire band entrance, but they couldn't do that with all the samples, so you instead get this. Quality transition. But yeah, so that's what I'll be using. And then these P files are actually the practice mode files for the game. Yeah, seriously, it's a crazy jarring transition. And I'm sure I'm going to get comments for that, but that's what amuses me. But these P files are actually the practice mode files, because the game will slow down the track either 85%, 65%, or 50%. And these are actually just pitch-shifted versions of the song. So this is what it sounds like 17% higher, which is roughly equivalent to what the game slows it down by, so it sounds the correct pitch in game, but it sounds like this. And then 65 sounds like this. Yeah, it starts to sound like Nightcore. And then 50% is literally 100% pitched upwards. So suffering for your art. But that's okay, because they sound good in game. They sound really good in game. But that's, I guess, something for when I actually get back to charting. And as you can see on my desktop, actually, I have one custom I was intending to do with some Jonathan Colton stuff, Code Monkey. And then a Dope Nose is the other one. And then I have customs, basically, to last me the entire year. So I want to try to release a new chart every month in 2021, because that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. But yeah, that's about it, really. I just wanted to get on here and play some Amplitude, and it worked surprisingly well, given that Amplitude kind of is a little bit temperamental to play on an emulator, and especially when you're streaming. And thankfully, I was able to figure that bit out. And also, we did not drop a single frame that entire time. I'm very glad, because you know how my internet can be sometimes. Hopefully that sticks the next time we stream, and it'll be something that the normal batch of Somnolians have a little bit more to say about. But hey, I enjoyed it. And I'll let you guys know how the content bots reacted to this. Worst case scenario, I download it. Like I said, I download it and then I cut up relevant bits of it. Maybe I'll cut out that giant Guitar Hero 3 rant separately or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to give my voice a rest. I'm going to get some more water. You all enjoy the rest of your evening. All of you lovely people who decided to tune in. Even the ones who didn't talk that much. I appreciate you guys being here. I thought about it. I thought about having clips uploads, but I'm always lazy and I don't really have video editing software on here. Alrighty, I never know how to end these, so I'll just say, again, thanks guys. I'll talk to you again soon. I smell colors too, yes.